Listen to this episode if you are a product-based business that is getting ready for the holiday season. Oh my gosh, the holidays are a little bit of the Super Bowl for us, all right? You have been working all year long. The sales are finally start to climb again after your little bit of a summer lull. And now what the heck do we do for the holiday season? This is actually a question that was submitted by Josie, one of our small business growth listeners. She said, I really want my holidays to be successful this year, but I don't know what to be doing quite yet. Is it too early to talk about? Do I plan for it? What should I be focusing on? And she said that she always wishes her holidays went better. She's always been kind of disappointed. So we're going to dive in and answer this question in full and really start diving into what the holiday season should look like as a product-based business owner who is trying to grow their business and make their sales online. Hello. Welcome to the Small Business Growth Podcast. If you're new here, I'm your host, Madison Page, and I like to teach business in a fun, conversational type of way. I like to say it's kind of like sipping coffee with a biz bestie. If you are actually wanting to chat face-to-face, you can click the link in the description and watch us on YouTube, where we are actually sitting and chatting and having a fun little conversation. This would be a perfect episode for you to share with your biz bestie so you guys can start chit-chatting about the holiday season together. So let's dive in to talking about what the holiday season looks like. 80% of people start shopping for the holiday season in October, meaning they at least have one gift already starting in October, meaning right now, as you are listening to this, if you're listening to it in the first couple of weeks that it is out, people are already shopping. As this is going out there, I know that my boyfriend, who honestly usually waits until the last minute, already has a gift or two when we go home. I know that I have been starting to be like, oh, that would be a great gift. My notes app is already starting to fill up with the notes that I'm hoping, or with the gift ideas that I'm hoping to give people. People are starting to think about it. People are starting to shop, even if it's October. So absolutely, it is not too early to be talking about it. If you are a very heavy fall season business, if you have a very strong fall season, I can understand where you wouldn't want to dive too far into it, but you can at least be shifting your messaging as early as October to start talking about the holidays. Now, I wouldn't go and launch gingerbread houses in, October 1st, but I do think we can start setting the scene in messaging and content to start getting people to really shop. So we're going to get into some of the nitty-gritty here. This means that what you are doing right now is impacting your sales. This means that whatever you are doing right now is starting to either pre-sell people, set the scene, build community, or any of that. And really what you're doing in October really depends on what your current sales are. And really just the two major kind of demographics here is if you are already making good online sales and they're just going to amplify. Most of the time, your holidays are a little bit of a crazy season. A lot of times your holidays are a little bit like, oh my gosh, can I catch a break and make some dang sugar cookies? I guess I have cookies on the brain this morning. Your focus, if you just know that your sales are going to boom during that time, is sustainability and expansion. We want to look at your products and if there's any way that we can diversify your product suite to allow for people to buy something else that might not take your time, especially if you do have a handmade business and you know that this time of year is crazy for you. Either let's start prepping some inventory early, or let's start trying to expand your product suite into having products that don't take your time in order to do. That is something that I do with a lot of my scaling clients is we're actually looking at the sustainability of the holiday season. How can we maximize sales, but also minimize your craziness and still allow for you to make the most amount of sales possible? And if you are still struggling for online sales, you're like, Maddie, it still feels like I am begging for every single purchase online, then right now in October or as soon as possible, you want to be focusing on strategy. A big mistake that I see people making is that they feel like just because more people are going to be shopping, that means that all of a sudden their sales are going to increase. But if your marketing is not selling organically at any other time of year, it probably doesn't mean it's going to sell that much better over the holidays. And so we do really want to look at the strategy, and we want to look at some support as to what it is that we need to change, what messaging needs to shift, and what in your current marketing and sales strategies just isn't working. Because that's going to be really important to actually see the results over the holidays. And honestly, that can happen pretty quickly because so many people are shopping and they do need gifts. You can see this like change in sales happen quickly with just a little bit of change of messaging and change of content, but without it, it isn't going to just like revolutionize your sales because you still don't have a sales strategy, if that makes sense. So yes, we can make some small changes and see some results quickly, but just because people are shopping doesn't mean naturally you are going to make that many more sales. So I want to dive into some of the major shifts that you do need to be starting to think about early and in November and December throughout the whole holiday season that are really going to make a major difference for you. First things first is a major shift during the holiday season is there is tons of noise. More emails are being sent out than any other time of year. There's more people spending for ads than any other time of year. There's more people posting organically on social media. There are more paper catalogs going out than any other time of year. There is so much shopper noise. All right. So that means that you have to work that much harder to be seen. You have to work that much harder to stand out from every other option that's out there. And you have to work that much harder for people to say, actually, from all of these other brands that I am getting sold to by, I want to choose this one and their products. This is why in September or October, I recommend really doing a major kind of nurture something or other, something to get your community involved. And I know you might be listening to this after that, but we really want to focus on getting your community tapped into you, talking a little bit about maybe doing a little bit more personal connection, getting them a little bit more involved, having a little bit more collaborative marketing strategy during that time so you can have people more tapped into your business and really focusing on building community prior to that holiday season. That's going to make a big difference because they're going to start thinking, okay, who do I want to buy from? And you will be on that list if you are focusing on building community around your brand early. So there is tons and tons of noise. You have to realize that you are going to have to work that much harder to be seen, and that can start very early. That's some of the stuff that you can do very early on is starting to build community. You don't have to even talk about the holidays, but understanding in September, in October, even if you are a business that's really slow in June, July, and August, that's a good time to start growing your community and really building that and nurturing them into being ride or die obsessed about you as your brand. So when the holidays come, you are top of mind. We want you to be top of mind. And that is something that you can start, honestly, all year long to try to build for the holiday season. And it makes a really big difference because then they're thinking about you. They're choosing you. That makes me think of that Grey's Anatomy quote, choose me, like, love me. That's what we're trying to do. We are trying to get your community built prior to the holidays so they are already saying, yes, I'm choosing them, I'm loving them, and I'm going to buy X, Y, and Z for these people. Another major shift this time of year that I don't see too many businesses really talking about in their marketing is people are no longer buying for themselves. They're actually buying for other people too. And so yes, some of these purchases will be for us. We're all a little bit of a victim to a nice little holiday sale. One for you, one for me. If you're me, my mom and I both do this, is like, if I'm going to get you one, I obviously love it enough for me. So yes, some people are buying things for themselves during this season, but they are also buying for other people in masses. And so we have to shift our messaging to who would this be perfect for? What type of what category of person would love this? What types of things if they're into X, Y, and Z, does that mean that they're also into these other things? I love doing a good who is this perfect for or like a holiday gift guide for your your exact business, saying, you know, if you're shopping for the outdoor enthusiast, if you're shopping for the gold jewelry lover, if you're shopping for your bestie, whatever, kind of making a little bit of a holiday gift guide that allows for people to say, oh, that would be a perfect gift for this friend. And so we really do want to shift some of our messaging in a lot of different ways consistently. This is one of the things that you can do starting in October, is starting to just shift it for who your product is great for, who loves your product. You know, if you're in your X, Y, and Z era, if you're in your, you know, coastal cowgirl era, or for the girlies who love this style. So then people can say, oh, my friend Amanda loves that style. Maybe this would be a good brand for her. And we're going to already kind of start to create that list. My type A girlies are already creating their list and checking it twice in October. And so you can kind of start setting that scene for those types of people that are already starting to think about the holidays very early on by using this messaging shift. Changing your messaging into understanding that people are buying for others as well as themselves is we have to start setting the scene of who this is good for. It's a good practice to do all the time, so people can also say, oh wait, that sounds like me. I'm in my coastal cowgirl era, or I'm in my clean girl era, or whatever era the TikTok girls are saying right now. All right. The next thing is that people are looking for practical purchases. People really look for practical ways that they can buy one thing and get either multiple gifts or like finish one full person. All right. And so having bundles or having limited edition holiday offers is a really good way, to test things, as well as to get people to spend a little bit more money with you. So like if you're thinking of, if you're a soap business, or if you sell all natural products, like packaging maybe some mini bars of soap together where it's a perfect addition to a gift. Thinking about how people gift, a lot of times you get like, maybe you'll get a purse and there's like a lip gloss and a little perfume in it. Or maybe you are giving this little toiletries bag and you're going to put a little bit of skincare and a little tiny soap in it. People like to kind of build gifts with multiple little knickknacks. And so we want to try to be, your business is a really easy way. Oh, I'll buy this bundle and maybe it'll be perfect little add-ons, kind of like that stocking stuffer vibe. It's a perfect little add-on into another gift. So we're shifting from people are just buying this for the use of it to also thinking about, okay, how do people gift and how can we adjust our products for gifting? So if that's a limited edition offer, a limited edition product, a bundle that you might not offer other times of year, that allows for it to be really easy to either gift to multiple people. This is why you see a lot of like, you know, all of the minis at that time of year, or you see a lot of people gifting like, there's like a 5-pack right at this time. So you can buy all 5 of them because most likely you have friends that would like similar things. And that is what people are trying to do. So that's a good way for you to start thinking about something as well. And then the last major shift that I want to talk about is more people need things. More people need to buy things. It is said that there will be over a $1 trillion of extra consumer spending in Q4, meaning October, November, and December. 1 trillion. That is record breaking despite the election, despite the economy, whatever thing that people are saying that the holiday seasons aren't going to be good for, they will be. They are still anticipating over $1 trillion of extra consumer spending. So we are trying to maximize that for you and your brand. So more people need things now, which means you normally have to like actualize that need for people. You normally have to say like push and like build emotion to try to get people to buy. That's not the same thing right now. Your sales strategy shifts a little bit during the holidays because it's not as much of, oh my gosh, you need this. This is like, let me try to tell you why you need this. It's more so they have to pick you over everybody else. So why do you make sense? Why is your purchase practical? Why is your purchase fun? Why does your purchase have benefits? And really start talking about that really early. Again, another sales messaging shift. So when do you start talking about your holiday season? Is you really can start in October. You absolutely can start at least making some of these messaging shifts in October. The holiday season is so much fun because it's kind of the wild, wild west. All right. Like people are out there, they are shopping, and we just need to add strategy that fits for the holiday season, which is a little bit different than other times of year. It's not just the same strategy from all the time is going to work over the holidays. Because again, you normally are trying to actualize the need for your product where they already know that they need things. And whether or not that makes sense for your business in this time, like they are trying to make it where your product makes the most sense right now for the gifts and for the things that they need. And so there's a lot of noise. There's a lot of promos going on. There's a lot of other things happening. And we want you to be in the forefront of that. So you can start talking about it and making this shift, building more community, talking more about who your product is great for, talking about gifts and things like that in October. But once November 1st hits, especially if you're a major fall-based brand, November 1st to November 15th is a pretty big shift into holidays, harvest, family, gifting, things like that. And I know everybody's so annoyed with the Black Friday sales starting in October, but we don't quite want to call it Black Friday that early, but understand that people are definitely shopping. This is the most important time of year to have strategy. This is when consumer spending is at an all-time high for most businesses. If you're selling swimsuits or, sunscreen, this time of year isn't going to be that crazy for you. And that's okay. This is your time to build, and you can still make sales, but this is your time to mostly build. Whereas a lot of businesses, their building time is June, July, and August, which is your busy season. And so understanding that for the majority of businesses, this is your most important time to have a strategy, to have every single day from November 1st to December 15th, highly planned and strategized. So you know what content you're putting out, what messaging shifts you're doing, so you really know and you can maximize those sales. People are buying like crazy. You just need that right messaging, that right content strategy, and all of that out there to get your biggest piece of that $1 trillion. That is really your goal. How can I maximize sales? There's going to be more podcast episodes on this. We are going to talk a little bit deeper into it. If you are looking for holiday support, you can follow me on Instagram at This Is Madison Page. And as this episode is coming out, I'm sure our holiday support is also launched there as well. Kind of a wide variety of what you might need, the strategy, the hardcore messaging, kind of the calendars of what that looks like, as well as if you want to chat with me, we can go ahead and do that as well. But there is so many sales to be had. And in the next 6 weeks, you should be so excited. Of course, it's going to be busy. Of course, it's always a little bit of the Wild West, but it is going to be fun. Some reminders. Make time for the season, all right? Make time to actually enjoy your own family time. We love some freepreneur vibes around here. Make sure that you are structured when you can be, so when you don't have to be, you don't. When you don't want to be, you don't have to be, all right? And we want to make sure that you are really looking at your business to end the year strong, but we want to make sure that you start next year with momentum instead of frustration. How you do that is starting early. Make inventory now. Plan your promos now. Do not wait until the middle of November to plan your Black Friday deals. Do not wait until the middle of November to start selling to people. By the time Black Friday hits, so many people already have massively started shopping. We need to start sooner than that. So my biggest tip for you for the holiday season is start as soon as you are listening to this. Start mapping it out. Make the commitment to yourself that in the next 72 hours, you are going to sit down and map out what your calendar looks like. If you have no idea what that looks like and you're like, I'm just going to do 20% off for Black Friday. No, we can't do that. We need more than that. Go over to my Instagram. I'll have a masterclass there that we can really discuss what your promos really need to look like. If you have any questions for me, feel free to reach out. As always, again, this is a great episode to share with a friend. And so you guys can kind of discuss what you're doing, what these major shifts look like, the gift guides that you're going to create for your business. And if you have any questions for me, I am absolutely always there for you as well. At This Is Madison Page, you can come say hi. It makes my day when you come and tell me that you're loving my podcast. Truly brings a tear to my eye every dang time. All right, I love you. I'm rooting for you. I'm in your corner always. Good luck this holiday season. I am so excited to see what you do, and I'll chat with you in the next episode.